Joe just mailed me this 4-page letter. After reading Joe Exotic's first letter that says, I need your help so bad, I can prove my innocence. I mailed a letter to Joe asking about evidence. Joe Maldonado Passage is serving 22 years in prison for wildlife offenses and hiring someone to kill animal rights activist Carol Baskin.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
Their ongoing feud highlighted on the Netflix series Tiger King.
She's been playing that hypocrite.
I told you last year about a group called Team Tiger working to free Joe.
Joe Exotic 2020.
But all the fancy cars, decked out buses, and attention-getting trips to D.C.
Ooh-wee, son, we in Washington, D.C. Looky, we're at the White House.
Did not convince President Trump to pardon Joe.
Is that Joe Exotic?
When Trump didn't pardon him, I know there were a lot of people that were pretty upset about that.
Everybody was pretty sure it was going to happen, and then it didn't happen.
John Rinke's also famous for being on the show Tiger King.
Sure, y'all got a story to tell.
He was the manager at the exotic animal park in Wynnewood, Oklahoma, alongside Joe. I've told you how he's been fighting with Team Tiger to free Joe.
I wear my Free Joe shirt. I should have had it on today, but I wore it this weekend, so it's dirty. But I've been just trying to promote and be seen so this doesn't go away. So this keeps getting stirred up. We need to keep Free Joe out there, and the man needs to get out of jail.
Joe's attorneys appealed, and this month, the court decided to vacate the sentence. It means Joe will get a new hearing and possibly a lesser sentence. What did you think about that?
I was actually excited. I've actually been helping behind the scenes. As you know, I didn't get to testify in the original court. Why, I have no idea. I ran the place for 14 years. You think they'd want to talk to the guy that ran the place.
Joe was tried and convicted in federal court for shooting 5 tigers and for the murder-for-hire plot.
They revoked his sentence because they knew they did it wrong. You cannot sentence him altogether. The animal charges and the murder-for-hire charges cannot be tied all into one. It has to be separate sentencing. So they have to start that all over again. So with that all happening all over again, the new evidence gets to be introduced.
The prosecution said Joe killed the tigers to make room for cage space. But Joe told me he had permission. He wrote, I did euthanize 5 tigers, and I did it with a gun which was authorized by the USDA. He points to this document signed by a veterinarian that says Joe and Rinke were authorized to euthanize by gunshot. Rinke told me those tigers were old and suffering with broken teeth and arthritis. The prosecution also said Joe gave staffer Alan Glover $3,000 to go to Florida and kill Carol, with plans to pay more later.
All this murder for hire stuff with Alan Glover supposedly getting paid to go kill Carol, days before all that took place, me and Joe had a conversation about paying Alan some money to get him off the park just because we weren't happy with him there. He wasn't happy there. And we want him off the park because he was causing problems. And we discussed all that. And it was a $3,000 amount that we talked about. So he wasn't paid to go kill Carol like they said he was, like he's saying he was. The new evidence will prove all of that.
In his letter, Joe wrote, I did not ask anyone to hurt Carol. He also wrote, they had all that information in the courtroom, but they kept it suppressed. I asked the U.S. Attorney's Office in Oklahoma City about the vacated sentence and their plans moving forward, but they declined to comment. Rinke says he won't give up until Joe is free. You were surprised about the sentencing the first time. You were surprised that Trump didn't pardon him. So what do you really think will happen at this new hearing, this new sentencing?
I think if we get to use all the evidence that they have gathered and we all get to talk, I really think it'll be time served because he's been in there, 3 years now. It's just crazy. But hopefully he'll get time served. That's what I'm hoping for. The man needs to get out of there.